fans, let's talk a little Midwest Modified action. We had some big stuff going on. We had the Rebel Midwest Mod finale. We had some first-time winners. We had some people staying red hot. We had some upsets. I'm telling you, we had it all. Let's get to Ryan's recap, and then we'll get to this week's power rankings. Let's head up to the Grand Rapids Speedway this past Thursday. Tyler Vernon, he came up, and I tell you, it's kind of been a little honey hole up there for Tyler Kittner. And he says, I want a little bit of that. He come up, kind of put a beat down on Kittner. His, I believe, his 8th of the year. I had 10th down, but I feel like that's his 8th. And he punched his ticket to the AFCO Race of Champions as well. Now, another rookie sensation, Jake Smith. I'm telling you, he's making a late season charge. I believe that he has the Wissota Midwest Mod Rookie of the Year deal pretty much locked up. I don't think anybody can catch him, but he's got a little higher goals than this, right? He legitimately could climb up into the top 5 in your Wissota national standings, put 2 more wins on his resume here this past weekend. Thursday over in Wilmer at the KRA Speedway, held off a pair of Mareworths over there. They're pretty fast around that place. And then, surprisingly, he made the trip over to Unity. Talk about that in a minute. Went over to the SK Speedway. He left with his 13th of the year. So Jake Smith, another weekend with a pair of wins. Congratulations to him. Now, another guy here that had, looks like a pair of wins, the Nightmare, Lucas Rodin. I'm telling you, he smells blood in the water. It's right there. He's on that surge for a national title race. 5th to 1st over at the Norman County Raceway in Ada. Saturday, he took the 1,037 top prize down at the Jeff Carpenter Memorial over at the Jamestown Speedway. That's a pretty big win. They had a hell of a good car count. And then he got 2nd at the 5,000 win show at the Rebel Midwest Mod Tour finale. Of course, he won the points in that. So a pair of wins for Lucas Rodin. And I'm telling you, 16 wins on the year. He's in the conversation. He is one of just a few drivers that has a shot to win the national title here. Now, the Victory Lane Speedway, Frank Vert, he took home the $1,000 payday up in Winnipeg, and this was his first career Midwest Modified feature win. Congratulations, Frank. Job well done. Look forward to seeing you in Victory Lane a whole lot more. Now, let's go to the Black Hills Speedway. We're going to call him the Giant Killer because he's kind of beaten down on a couple of these top dogs out there. Matt Heinzerling from 5th out in Rapid City, his 6th of the year, and punched his ticket to the AFCO Race of Champions. I'm really hoping he's over at Fergus Falls for the 100. He's got a really fast hot rod, and he'll be somebody to keep an eye on. Eagle Valley Speedway, Dylan Gettle. He took home his 5th of the year this past Friday night, winning the 20th annual Lonnie Lou Memorial over at Jim Falls. Emo Speedway, they had a doubleheader. They had the Ray Memorial up there. They ran a pair of nights up there. Night number 1, David Simpson. He got it done his 2nd straight and 3rd of the year. 2nd straight Emo, that would be, and 3rd on the year. Night number 2, J.D. Davis, a guy that's kind of won in mods, won in Midwest mods. His 3rd of the year in the Midwest mods. Knock on wood, right? Invite season's here. This is a couple of cats that always come down for our invites. And I don't know if the border's going to open or not, and I really hope it does because these guys here typically come down Labor Day weekend, Northern Nationals, half the season. So I'm really hoping they can find a way to come down and play. Now, the Fiesta City Speedway over in Montevideo, Derek Leake, he continues to have just an unbelievable season in his 6th of the year, but man, he's been in the top 5 a bunch this year. Super consistent, kind of a breakout year for him. He was fast last year, but and he got my attention this year. Now, if he can translate that into a few more wins next year, I don't think he'd be disappointed, but man, he's really put together a nice season. Gondik Law Speedway over in Superior. I want to be a cowboy, baby. Shane Howe, he parked the L1 in Victory Lane, stuck by Andrew Inman on a restart about halfway through. I think there was maybe 11 to go and kind of drove around him on the outside. His 7th of the year, and that one there punched his ticket to the AFCO Race of Champions at the Wissota 100 coming up here in September. Red Cedar Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. They had their final point night of the year. Brandon Bearworth, he cruised to the win from his, I believe, his sixth of the year. Started on the pole, kind of drove away, but overshadowing that, 14-year-old Kennedy Swan drove from 7th to 2nd and solidified her first ever track championship in the Midwest Mod. Good job, girl. Super cool. And that's a great story right there to keep an eye on. Kennedy Swan, 14-year-old girl. Just tell you, she's not the fastest. She don't want to be the fastest girl. She wants to be the fastest racer. There's a lot of nights she is. ABC Raceway over in Ashland, third-generation racer Jack Rebord. He got his third of the year over there Saturday night. I tell you, this kid is really fast. I heard some rumors that he might be transitioning up into an A-mod, possibly. Man, I'd like to see him stay in the B-mod and give some of these guys some fits. He's a hell of a wheel, man. Keep an eye on him come invite time. Big Sky Speedway, Rod Lorenz, late race caution, didn't matter. He drove away, third of the year out in Billings, Montana. Cedar Lake Speedway, a guy that ain't been Victory Lane for, feels like forever, but I think it's only been a couple weeks. 5th to 1st for Jason Vandekamp, his 9th of the year. Side note, Vandy, you're supposed to blow everybody else's doors off, not blow your own doors off. There's a little contact there with somebody, and he finished that race. I think they ripped the whole left side of his car. I think it was the left side, but needless to say, he only had one side left on the car. But blow everybody else's doors off, not your own. Great job, Vandy. Dakota State Fair Speedway only here on the Dirt Doctor. Lauren Johnson, his first of the year, did not race last year, but this guy has won a pile of races out in South Dakota. And keep an eye on that whole family. He's got a couple kids racing. They're winning races too. It looks like the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Deer Creek Speedway, Southern Minnesota, 8th to 1st for Caden Calf. He's put together a very, very solid season. Not traveling a ton, but he's always in the conversation down in Southern Minnesota. Now let's head over to the Devil's Lake Speedway. Jeremy Lizakowski, it looks like, takes advantage of the front row starting spot and parked in Victory Lane. His first win, get this, since 2017. A long time coming. Congratulations on the win up at the Devil's Playground. Greenbush Race Park, Justin Olson, he makes it 2 of his last 3 up in northern Minnesota. And I tell you, when you got Aaron Blacklance up there and you're winning 2 of the last 3, I tell you, it looks like you came to the party. Keep her rolling. Hibbing Raceway, Tyler Kittner, he continues to have a stellar season. 8th to 1st, locked up the track championship. 15th win on the year. The Labor Day Shootout's coming. The Labor Day Shootout's coming. He could be the favorite. He is the favorite. He's the favorite to win the Labor Day Shootout. He is so fast in Hibbing. I'd have to look. I feel like he's maybe lost 1. If he's lost 1, he is extremely hard to beat at home. So Tyler Kittner, another win up in Hibbing. Madison Speedway, welcome back, Brendan Blosick. He had a little bit of time off there, but I tell you what, he came back and he's basically right where he left off, and that's right in Victory Lane. He drove away with the win. Now, a side note on that, Austin Chiba had a hell of a run, 8th to 2nd. That kid's a wheelman as well, somebody that doesn't get talked about very often, but I can tell you, keep an eye on him because he's going to win some races also. But Blosick back in Victory Lane. Ogilvie Raceway, 3rd of the year for a very, very fast David Swearingen. You know, and here's the deal. I got so frustrated watching this race, and he battled with Schulte there. He passed him, Travis Schulte, but really good. But he drove away with the win. But I think they ended 3 laps early. I'm like, my goodness. I mean, I'm watching it. I'm fast forwarding this on Dirt Race Central, right? All the yellows, I'm fast forwarding it. I don't think I was the only one annoyed because the flagman says, look, here's the deal. After 87 yellows, we're just going to go ahead, throw the checker 3 laps early. I think the crowd was relieved. It was just one of those features, but Swearingen looked really good. And hats off to the flagman over there because I don't like cutting laps, but that one was maybe getting a little out of hand. Rice Lake Speedway, Simon Wallstrom, he continues to impress me. He's had a really good season. 5th win on the year over in Rice Lake. And let's go to the Bemidji Speedway. Jason LaValle Won the rain short feature over there, and I believe, looking at my race pass stats, this might be his first career Midwest Modified feature win. I did not see anything in there. I tried to confirm it, but I believe it's his first. So great job, LaValle, over at the home of the Chicken Shack. Halverline Speedway, first career feature win. Third generation racer, Evan Chikalski. Congratulations. Of course, Kelly Chikalski's his dad. He's won some races. Dennis Chikalski is a legend up there. He's won races and raced for a very long time. But his first win up in Proctor this past Sunday, great job. And he had to pull off the pack. They were kind of on him there, and he did a great job. So good to see a first-time feature winner there and another Chikalski back in victory lane. Sheridan Speedway, national title contender Tony Leiker. He stays on top of the win count for the Midwest Mods at 17. And I tell you, the 17 is fast, but the 18 is faster, right? So I'm telling you, keep an eye on this guy. It's going to be very, very interesting between him and Lucas Rodin. There's a few others there, but that win right there keeps him in the conversation. Now we got to save the best for last, right? Because they had the Rebel Midwest Mod Tour finale over at the Cheyenne Speedway in Lisbon. And just want to say, first of all, great job, Scott Vince, the redheaded Rebel. Great job, Benji Fromke. They put together a great series for the Midwest Mods up there. I know the drivers loved it. Great car counts. I heard a lot of good things. And what a way to put a stamp on it. They didn't get as many cars as they hoped on the last one, but there was some weather in the area, but they still had a really good car count. And Brumby, Jason Grimes, he parked in victory lane, his third of the year, and a $5,000 payday getting her done. You know, doesn't race a lot. He only has 3, but I tell you, when you get a $5,000 payday, you're doing something. Now, a little side note here, Mike Nichols, 16th to 3rd. He got by Rodin, and he was kind of trying to track down Grimes, and the top just kind of, it just wouldn't clean off. And he stayed up there, was trying to make it happen, and Rodin got back by him. So Rodin got second in that one. A great race, but $5,000 payday, the biggest Midwest Mod payday in the history of North Dakota, and that one goes to Grimer. So let's get to it. The August 26th edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Midwest Modified Power Rankings, of course, powered by Shocker Hitch at number 10, Jake Smith. SK, really? I get it. You know, I'm surprised he didn't go to Monty. I was extremely shocked he made the trip to SK. I'm like, he drove by some tracks to go race over there. I don't know what I think about that. I'll just be honest. I just don't know what I think about that. But 13 wins on the year as a rookie. He's going to be the National Rookie of the Year. And I'm telling you, this cat right here could finish in the top 5. Don't count him out of a top 5. He's put together a really, really good year. At number 9, Jason Grimes. I'm going to slide him up there. Limited schedule, 3 wins. But when you win a $5,000 show, I got to give you some love. So Grimers, we're going to put him up in the top 10 at 9 for now. And tell you, they got the Jamestown's got the Stampede. That's kind of his home track deal. Win that one, maybe you'll stay up in the top 10. Number 8, Caden Calf. Extremely consistent in southern Minnesota. Doesn't travel, which is unfortunate for race fans, because this is a guy here that I think he can go a lot of different places and he'd be a contender. He's really, really good. 8 wins, and he is the guy to beat pretty much every single night down at Deer Creek and Chateau. He's put together a hell of a season down there. Number 7, Tyler Vernon. He's put some miles on. This guy's racing all over the place. He was at the 5,000 to win show. It did not go well. It didn't. But I'm going to give him a tip of the cap for making the trip. It seems like a lot of people from that area just did not go. I know Marcus Dunbar made the trip as well. He's got a pile of wins on the year. He just knocked off Tyler Kittner on his home turf, and we're going to put Vernon at number 7. Number 6, Travis Schulte. Extremely light on wins compared to everybody else kind of up here in the conversation. But the eye test says invitational season is here. The next month or so, that 3T is going to be really, really hard to beat. And I'm expecting to see him, you know, probably up at the Northern Nationals. I don't know where he'll go over the 100 weekend. You know, he runs really well at Ogilvy. So Travis Schulte in the top 10 at 6. Number 5, Tyler Kittner. 15 wins, 26 podiums, and 38 starts. He's had a hell of a season. He really has, Tyler. Congratulations. I said at the beginning of the year, with Skeeter Esty moving up to A-Mods, somebody's got to take over. Blevins and Kittner are the two that I mentioned. Blevins has a few wins, but Tyler Kittner has really embraced that role as the guy to beat up in northern Minnesota. And the only thing he's lacking, the only thing is a big win. He needs an invitational win here in September to really put a stamp on a great season. Number 4, Troy Leiker. There's still a shot. Okay? He gave me some crap. He's like, man, my phone right off the hook, right? But there's still a legit mathematical shot for a 1-2 finish, Tony Leiker or Troy Leiker in the national standings. But for that to happen, he's got to steal some wins from Tony. And if he steals some wins from Tony, that could open the door for Lucas Rodin to just take it over. So it's quite interesting. He's put together one hell of a season. I mean, he really neither Leiker finishes out of the top 3 ever. They just don't. But him and Tony's just a step up on him. He's a little quicker, but Troy's been really good. And maybe a little extra motivation. I know they got the East-West Clash. They got a deal in Sheridan out there, a 2-dayer. Steal some wins from him. Let's see what happens. Number 3, Mikey Nichols. Solid. Solid is the word that comes to mind. He's always on the podium, but his consistency is his downfall, right? Point average lineup. His consistency, second. He's got to have the most seconds in Midwest Mod racing. He's got a pile of them, but that puts him starting 8th or 9th every single night, right? And that makes it tough to win. I mean, there's still some pretty good hot rods. When you start behind him every night, you can get up to 2nd or 3rd every night, but he needs to translate them into a few more wins to be in the national title hunt. But Mike Nichols has been really fun to watch. At number 2, I had to think long and hard about this. I'm telling you, Tony Leiker. I'm sliding him back. He didn't do nothing wrong. Heck, he won. He ran one race and won, okay? And it seems almost impossible. It's like, how do you not have Tony Leiker at 1? I'll tell you why in a second, okay? Now, we're going to find out because come Minnesota 100 time, I believe he's coming over. He could completely just make a statement at that deal. But he's going to have to be about perfect. Just because he doesn't get as many shows over there, he's going to have to finish out almost perfect to win that national title. And I'm telling you, he has the potential to do it. It was really, really, really close. And I slid him back. Nothing against him. But the next guy here is just on fire. He's on fire. And at number 1, Lucas Rodin. 2 more wins in a second here this weekend puts him at 16 wins. That's 1 behind Tony Leiker. And he's got 26 podiums, same as Leiker does. But he's the Rebel Midwest Mod Tour champion. He got 2nd at the 5,000 win show. He won the Golden Hammer up at Devil's Lake. I'm telling you, he's hunted right now. And the conversation for the Minnesota National Championship, in my mind, is between Leiker, Tony Leiker, Troy's kind of there, and Lucas Rodin. There's a few other guys that are there, but they're going to have to be really good here in September to get it done. But it's really between Rodin and Tony Leiker for the national championship. And right now, I'm giving the slight nod to Rodin. So he's taken down the number 1 spot in the August 26th edition of the BuyRaceshirts.com One to Go Show Midwest Mod Power Rankings, powered by Shocker Hitch.